All right, everyone, we are here with War 11 against Magneto. Today, we had an apocalypse ban, and I felt personally attacked, but I'll be going in with Immortal Abomination, Nebula, and Silver Centurion. I've got path 6 in Section 1, Path 3 in Section 2, and then 2 mini-bosses on Boss Island. So, first up is Hood here on Spiked Armor. This will be the only fight I take on the 20% boosts. It was just to burn energy. I did not see a problem with this fight between the willpower, healing, and spiked armor. I assumed I would be okay with spiked armor, healing back the damage. So I'm going to kind of play it off slow. He'll gain prowess on this node due to deja vu, but that's not a problem at all. Considering if we keep Hood from throwing special 2, we won't block a special attack. So it's really just baiting out Hood's special 1s. We have a Defiance champ here, so we don't have to worry about buffs, therefore no Mystic Dispersion, along with the global Mystic Dispersion, so no missing. So yeah, just a pretty straightforward fight. We're building the special 2 here. Once we drop the special 2, it's all focusing on special 1s so that we can keep the acid aura up and therefore get a few acid burns in on Hood before it expires. So there's a acid burn right there, melting them away. But yeah, pretty easy fight. You can see here, spiked armor, not an issue, not critting enough to take off much health, but also still healing throughout the entire fight, and down Hood goes nice and easy. Now, after that fight, I had originally planned on turning on half suicides. You're going to see why I'm happy I didn't. So Kitty Pryde here, I took her without the Mystic Dispersion global on this node before with Silver Centurion, and it's really right about, or maybe around the second or third special 1 from Kitty Pryde that you have to watch out for Bubble Shield and special 1 being unblockable. So I'm going to intentionally parry her just because 2 parrying combos will push her to special 1. And as long as we bait that out, we will always be able to remove her prowess before she gets 3. And she ends up being able to phase while dashing. So there we missed the parry, but she threw a heavy. There we intercepted, and you can see she's at 1 bar of power. And then we're watching our blocked hits here. The hope is that once we get close to 10 before she gets to special 1, we're going to intentionally trigger the unblockable call out from Bubble Shield. And you can see here we're getting close. And what I'm actually going to end up doing is taking a blocked hit and dexing out of the combo, or at least I think I dex out of the combo. I've done this with Nebula a lot where I take 1 hit and then just get out. And usually that triggers the unblockable prompt, but what you will notice from this fight is it does not. So I actually somehow got out of a combo quick enough to not trigger dexterity. And it may right there. And it may be because I had the dex buff, but there would still be a dexterity prompt. And you can see that led to probably the worst scenario possible, which was an unblockable special 1. Now I didn't notice that happened until after the fight. I actually just had an oh crap moment before that special 1, thinking I'd dex the first hit of her special 1, realizing the kick would be too shallow. I went, oh crap, and then knew it was going to be unblockable. So almost lost it there. Almost got our first death of the season. Actually just got super lucky she didn't throw that special 3 at the end, and that she just ticked away to shock and a blocked hit. So walked away praising Jesus there. Next, Path 3, Moleman's the only one here. Just decided to flex Silver Centurion here just because it was the better option of my 3, and to give him one more fight instead of just taking out Kitty Pryde. Really, the goal here was just to block bait heavies and then retaliate. And then once he got into Frenzy, we'd be able to parry reliably. This is really just a forced matchup. The entire fight, I'm actually just focused on don't hit into his block, don't hit into his block. And it's just a very big habit for me that if I see the AI kind of stand there with its block up, that I'll go tap its block real quick. So in longer fights with Moleman, that'll definitely be a problem. But we used an invulnerability boost for Kitty Pryde, and it carried over to here. And I'm thankful it did. This probably would have been a second death, and there it is, the hit into the block. And of course, while he's got a special 2, and boom, look at that. Most of our health gone. Luckily, this is Silver Centurion's last fight, and that's the last hit I'm going to take. He's in Frenzy, so we can reliably parry. Yeah, this is just not... These 2 fights were not my usual focused self. All it really means is that next time I will not be fighting in a bowling alley thinking I need to get the fights done. Maybe in an area where I'm a little more focused. But yeah, figured we could flex Silver Centurion here just because of the passive plasma damage. If that Incinerate light attack crits, we get the shock and the Incinerate, and it places the plasma. So if you see some plasmas show up at the end of my combo, that's why. If it's just an Incinerate, it's going to get shrugged like that. And we can't place the plasma until that specific hit gets the crit. And then with special 2s while locked on, we can place some plasmas as well. We had it the first round, but the last round we got pushed to special 3. But yeah, this is just a long fight. Just kind of the only path I could take when I was assigned the shared fight before 1 through 3, and then the shared fight after 1 through 3 in section 2. So makes it easier when we don't need a double up on this side. And down he goes. So aside from hitting into block, which I told myself don't do, pretty straightforward fight. Okay, and then here, I said earlier I had meant to put on half suicides, but I'm glad I didn't. Probably would have died in that kitty fight. But this time, since both fights, the 2 next fights are all Nebula, we are full suicides here. So Nimrod here, rank 4 Nimrod. You guys have seen me take plenty of times. Just going to build up charges as we build the special 2. Just let him heavy attack when he doesn't have a special. But during special 1s, we're going to try and bait it. And if he's quick to throw it, we're going to just get out of range and then block the whole thing so we can build up more charges. Not something I want to fully experiment with, but I'd love to know probably in the off season what would be the minimum number of shock charges I need to KO a champ, a robot on a node like this. So we're at 17 here. We're just going to go ahead and work with that, drop the special 2, and he's going to melt away. So easy fight. We heal up Nebula. We get ready for our next fight, Dragonman on Stun Reflect. Now here, you're going to see my boosting going in. I'm doing the science boost because I have an Immortal Abomination fight right after this against Sasquatch on 55. So that's just so that I don't forget. And then you're going to see me kind of contemplate whether I'm going to use combat regen or invulnerability. And it doesn't look like I'm looking at both, but I am kind of hesitating, and then I just decided invulnerability. So I dueled a Dragonman. I was very curious with shutting off his ability accuracy, whether it was going to remove the power gain when he used a special 1 or a special 2. And it turns out it does remove the power gain. It just doesn't do one of the 2 effects, placing that debuff ineptitude or converting it to a fury. It just disappears. And then the timer goes. So here we got cornered. He's not willing to throw that. We double dex a heavy there. Tried to hit into his block to get him to throw a special attack, and he just wouldn't. So this special 3 made me happy that I had actually thrown on an invulnerability boost and not a combat regen. But we know we're going to be cornered here, just not with an unblockable and unstoppable Dragonman. So I'm going to be aggressive right off the wall. Intercept, make some space for myself. The power gain is gone. We're going to hit into block because he's being passive. We're just going to make room. So here, kind of lit up, ready to go. Annoyed that we got pushed against the wall and took a special 3. So we're being aggressive about retaliating heavies and hitting into block when he's passive as we build charges. I'm going to try to get to 20. I believe it's a special 1. We're going to transfer the shocks. So the next special 1 on the tail swipe. Still making room. Not going to be happy with that until I get him to the wall. Here goes the tail swipe, and boom, transfer the shocks. Now we're going to build shocks back up. This is just to speed the fight up. It's not going to be long enough duration for us to actually gain significant power. So it's just going to be another build shocks, turn off abilities, and then transfer shocks just to kind of finish it. All while trying to maintain our spacing here so that we don't get pinned against the wall again. So yeah, going pretty smooth, trying to bait out this special 2. He's not having it, finally throws it. All right, getting close to the next set of charges. And the last set, when we drop them on a special 1, it will be the end of the fight. So here he comes with the tail whip, transfer the shocks, melt away. Game over. So aside from that special 3, smooth Nebula fight. And then the last fight, Immortal Abomination here, I turn Suicides off. We've maxed Inequity and added on Resonate. And this is just such a smooth fight. Immortal Abomination for these Mystic Dispersion champs on these boss island nodes, he's just so satisfying. So same game plan as Hood. We're going to build the special 2. I'm hoping with the power back boost that'll quickly get us to the next special 1 so that we can place enough poisons on ourselves to keep the aura up almost the entire fight, which I believe we do. But yeah, this is how much of a game changer it is being a Defiance champ and not having any buffs. We're going to bait out this special 2 before we get our special 2 off. Felt a little late there, but it seems we were good. All right, and we're already back at special 1. So as long as we get this out, I'm probably going to bait out a heavy and then throw the special 1. And now we're good. Now it's just constant special 1. We're going to acid burn him. He's just going to melt away from poison and acid burn, and we're just going to constantly throw a special 1 when we have the opportunity. And yeah, this is the fight. So pretty straightforward. There we try to take advantage of the acid burn and unblockable, and the AI knew we were coming. So this is very common for me to just throw 1 attack. It's kind of like a fishing for an opening, and if the AI reacts to it, I'm ready to go. And down he goes. So that was the end of my war. Saved it, didn't die to that kitty. RBG actually ended up dying 5 times this war to their 2, and we actually ended up losing this 8-6. So insanely frustrating season because there were 2 opportunities for us to basically maintain being in the top 3 after the usual gauntlet that fighting for top 3 is. And it's super frustrating that we just choked for both of those wars. And why I say we choked instead of just being outright beat is because we get beat by alliances when we're fighting at the top when they die 3 or less. And there's not much we can do about that aside from having a perfect war. And then even then, some cases, that's not even enough. But the 2 ones we choked on, the opponent died 6 times, both times. And we died more. And that's just not okay. Not for an alliance saying they're trying to push top 3. So super frustrating. This loss pretty much confirmed that we will not be top 3 this season, which is very disappointing. I don't think we can fall out of the top 10, but that's not the goal. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe, like, share, follow, and I will catch you guys at the last war of the season.